The following is a Hennessy Hendo production. It includes excerpts and material from my vast collection of books and general knowledge. My collection spans many centuries and millennia. I upload as I have time, but the sheer volume is just so immense. It would do the people of the world good to listen to some actual classics or educate themselves on all manner of topics from fictional books to philosophy. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Operation Chaos, also known as Operation MHCHAOS, was a covert program conducted by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, from 1967 to 1974. Initiated under President Lyndon B. Johnson and expanded during President Richard Nixon's administration, its primary objective was to investigate potential foreign influences on domestic protest movements, particularly those opposing the Vietnam War. Key aspects of Operation Chaos. Initiation and oversight. Directed by CIA's Chief of Counterintelligence, James Jesus Angleton, and led by Richard Ober, the operation sought to determine if foreign entities were influencing U.S. domestic dissent. Activities. The program involved extensive surveillance of American citizens and organizations, including infiltration of groups such as the Students for a Democratic Society, the Black Panther Party, and the Women's Liberation Movement. The CIA compiled files on approximately 7,200 Americans and maintained a computer index of around 300,000 individuals and 1,000 groups. Findings. Despite the extensive surveillance, the CIA reported to President Johnson in 1967 and reiterated in 1969 that there was no evidence of significant foreign influence or contact between prominent peace movement leaders and foreign entities. Exposure and aftermath. Journalist Seymour Hersh exposed Operation Chaos in a 1974 New York Times article, revealing the CIA's domestic espionage activities against anti-war forces and other dissidents during the Nixon years. This disclosure led to investigations by the Rockefeller Commission and the Church Committee, which concluded that the CIA's domestic activities had exceeded its statutory authority. Operation Chaos is a significant example of domestic surveillance overreach by intelligence agencies, highlighting the delicate balance between national security and civil liberties. Background and origins. 1. Historical context. The 1960s saw intense anti-war activism and civil unrest in the United States, fueled by opposition to the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, and broader dissatisfaction with government policies. The Johnson administration, and later the Nixon administration, became increasingly concerned that foreign powers, e.g. the Soviet Union, China, or Cuba, might be behind the domestic unrest. 2. CIA's role. Under the National Security Act of 1947, the CIA was prohibited from conducting domestic surveillance. Despite this limitation, Operation Chaos was launched in 1967 under President Lyndon B. Johnson, initially as part of a broader effort to understand potential foreign influences on domestic unrest. 3. Key leadership. The operation was managed by James Jesus Angleton, the CIA's Chief of Counterintelligence, and later directed by Richard Ober. It operated under the counterintelligence staff, with close ties to other covert domestic programs, including the FBI's COINTELPRO. Operations and activities. 1. Surveillance and infiltration. The program involved infiltrating anti-war and civil rights groups, including the Students for a Democratic Society, SDS, the Black Panther Party, and the Women's Liberation Movement. Agents posed as activists or sympathizers to gather intelligence on leadership, funding, and connections. 2. Data collection. By 1974, the CIA had accumulated files on approximately 7,200 Americans and indexed information on over 300,000 individuals and 1,000 groups. These files were maintained in a centralized system called Hydra, which could be accessed for cross-referencing individuals and organizations. 3. Coordination with other agencies. Operation Chaos worked in conjunction with other programs such as the FBI's COINTELPRO and the NSA's Minaret program, which monitored communications of prominent activists and politicians. Collaboration included sharing intelligence and developing strategies to disrupt or discredit domestic dissenters. Findings and outcomes. 1. Foreign influence. Despite extensive surveillance and infiltration, the CIA concluded that there was no significant foreign influence in domestic dissent movements. A 1967 report to President Johnson and a subsequent 1969 report to President Nixon both stated that the domestic unrest was primarily homegrown. 2. Intensified surveillance. Although the program found no substantial evidence of foreign meddling, it continued and expanded under President Nixon. The focus shifted to more aggressive monitoring and attempts to discredit activists. Exposure and public outcry. 1. The Seymour Hersh expose. In 1974, journalist Seymour Hersh published an article in the New York Times revealing Operation Chaos and other CIA domestic operations, including surveillance of anti-war activists and dissidents. This report shocked the public, as the CIA was explicitly barred from domestic intelligence activities. 2. Investigations. The revelations led to investigations by the Rockefeller Commission, appointed by President Gerald Ford to investigate CIA abuses. The Church Committee, a U.S. Senate committee chaired by Senator Frank Church that uncovered widespread abuses by the CIA, FBI, and NSA. These investigations confirmed that the CIA had violated its charter by conducting domestic surveillance. Legacy and implications. 1. Violation of civil liberties. Operation Chaos. Demonstrated how government agencies could overreach their authority in the name of national security, infringing on citizens' First and Fourth Amendment rights. 2. Impact on public trust. The exposure of chaos, along with other programs like COINTELPRO, severely damaged public trust in government institutions during the 1970s. 3. Reforms. The investigations led to significant reforms, including the establishment of congressional oversight committees for intelligence agencies, e.g., the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, the creation of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, in 1978, which imposed legal limits on surveillance. 4. Symbol of overreach. Operation Chaos remains a cautionary tale of how fear of external threats can lead to domestic policies that undermine democracy. Conclusion. Operation Chaos reflects a dark chapter in U.S. intelligence history, where the boundaries of lawful surveillance were crossed in pursuit of unsubstantiated foreign threats. It highlights the importance of transparency, oversight, and adherence to constitutional protections in balancing national security and civil liberties. The lessons from chaos underscore the ongoing need for vigilance in preventing similar abuses in the future. Thank you for watching. Please share the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out other series including 10-minute synopses or complete audiobooks on Hennessy Hendo on YouTube. Improve your vocabulary. Be more fun at parties. Increase your knowledge. Become a literary master like Hendo.